Live streaming is on.
All right. Hello, everyone. Again, this is Adam Meister, Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. All right. We're doing part 2 of this show now. I don't know what is going on. Why did that just happen? I got kicked off. Clearly just a coincidence. I don't know what the heck happened. All right. Hopefully it's hopefully everything will be saved, and I'm rolling with the darn punches, dudes. I am rolling with the darn punches. I've got conviction. This baby, we're going to take it. Just pound that like button. Continue to pound that like button. Continue to retweet the URLs of this video or whatever. Okay. So you audio people are wondering, like, what? It seems continuous to me. Yeah, to you it does. That's the beauty of audio. Moving on. So yeah, Alex Berenson is good. He came up with a term. Team Apocalypse is not pleased. Yes, there is definitely a Team Apocalypse out there, and they are not pleased with people like me or positive people who question the narrative. Again, we're not saying there's not a virus. There's a virus out there. It's just not the end of the world, and people should not give up their sovereignty to the freaking government, for God's sakes. All right, and let me go to the screen, and yeah, I'm live. I don't know how many people are watching right now, as they got kicked off there, but whatever. It is live. All right, continuing on, because I've got conviction. Oh, see, I definitely have conviction. We got another guy, Jordan Shattle. He's linked to below. We're on the brink of a Great Depression, and the majority of us are afraid to ask questions about the underlying assumptions for the path to hell we have paved. Many fear being ostracized, shouted down by colleagues, neighbors, friends, labeled insensitive deniers of the all-powerful model. Great point. This is not a time to be silent because you're scared of being labeled a denier and you're scared of peer pressure. We're on the brink of a Great Depression, all right? And it's not a time to be silent and to be compliant at all. Very good point. Retweet that one if you can. So yesterday I was talking about defiance over compliance, and we need more voices like this dude, okay? We don't need dudes like Scott Adams calling for everyone to be a patriot. He's like, a patriot, basically he describes a patriot as someone who doesn't question the United States government or their government and licks the boot and stays in their house. We need you could be a patriot or you could be an individual raven. How about that NFL reference there? Pound that like button. And this guy is being an independent lone wolf raven, all right? What's this? AJ Cortez. I hope millions of Americans tomorrow don't pay their rent, regardless of whether they can afford it or not. Stick to your plutocratic government. Stick it to your plutocratic. F the whole system. Crash it. Let it burn. If Americans had any spine to be truly rebellious, they'd all participate in this and bring the system to its knees. But they don't. And they'll continue to get exposed like they deserve. Enjoy your $1,200 pity money check. Now, he says some pretty extreme things there. I want people to be responsible. But desperate people will do desperate things. And yeah, it would be interesting if there was a general strike of some sort in terms of bills, okay? People stop paying their bills because it's good to come up. It's good to participate in activity that will put pressure on the government to wake up and change the narrative, to be like, okay, the show's over, everybody get back to work. If everybody stopped paying their rent, and people might start, and a lot of people aren't going to be paying rent on April 1st. And I think this is going to occur naturally. There's just going to be so many bills that aren't being paid that businesses, powerful individuals are going to be like, dude, government, you got to change what you're advising to do. Or everyone will be like, I can't pay my bills. I can't eat. I can't do this. And they'll be protesting in the streets, and we shall see. But this guy's attitude is what I'm commenting about. He is defiant. He's saying defiant things instead of the be a patriot type of stuff. So that's what I like about him. And so every little bit of defiance gets us closer to this being over with. Every bit of compliance extends it and makes it much more likely that after this is all over, that it'll never be really totally all over. That we'll be in a fascist regime, under a fascist regime. Okay, so I will say this: everybody, the printing of the money, everybody getting a check, everybody getting used to dependency on the government. Okay, there's so many people out there. Yeah, there's a disease. Why don't it's great to have this vacation. We shouldn't be complaining. Adam, why do you want us all to go back to work? It's a vacation, and I'll survive the vacation fine. It's a moral hazard. Okay, it is what's being set up here, because it's creating a bunch of dependency, and it is the capitalist situation. I mean, it's unsustainable. It is unsustainable here. Okay. In terms of a productive society, we will no longer have a productive society if everybody gets addicted to getting a check from the government, and gets addicted to once every year for a month, we have to shut everything down. We should be scared all the time. It's a moral hazard, and people are going to get used to that. There's a lot of people, it's just a one-time thing. It's just a one-time thing. No, people get used to it. And that's why I do not support the wild printing of money. Even though for me, I'll be fine because I have Bitcoin. I have the real thing. But there are many moral hazards involved with this situation. It's creating weak people, and it's creating an unsustainable situation that people will beg for in the future because they're used to. Well, I want my vacation again. I want my government check again. And meanwhile, they don't even realize how compliant and slave-like they've become. No, we don't want dependence to be. Dependence is already the mainstream culture, definitely, but we don't need more of a dependence infection here, because it will lead to some nastiness that just some really nasty side effects. And so I talk about the YouTube some. Airbnb is about to crash the U.S. housing market. Thousands of superhosts who bought 10, 20, 30 properties with mortgages and are heavily leveraged are about to default. Without travel, there is no rental income to pay these mortgages. In 2 to 3 months, 2008 all over again. Now, I don't know if it'll be that extreme, but dude, yeah, there are going to be a lot of people losing a lot of houses due to they thought they were going to be able to Airbnb and rent them out. On the bright side, dudes like me that don't own a house, we are going to get some great Airbnb and rental deals. Oh, I am looking forward to traveling so much. So this is an opportunity. It's a golden age opportunity for those of you who've always wanted to travel. There are going to be some great deals out there soon enough. Okay, marketticker.org. Carl Denninger is on fire again. He basically says, dude, if you have pre-existing conditions, lock yourself up. Or you can take your own risk. That it doesn't mean we should shut the whole economy down for you. And if you are sick, get the malaria pills. Doctors should be prescribing these malaria pills. The shutdown has to end, he says. One line answer to the crisis. Test positive. Here's Z-Pack, the whole solution. Go home and isolate. Can't? Here's a voucher for a hotel. And, stay isolated at the hotel with only your fellow sick people. That's again, he was talking about if the government wants to have their own solution, they can do that. I mean, it's cheaper than shutting down the whole darn economy. It is linked to below. I will say some of the people that are screaming for the lockdown to continue as long as possible are very wealthy people, or guys who can afford it. Okay, I've said before, the lockdown is not hurting me financially at all, but I'm not a freaking CUCK that wants it to continue, even though I'll be fine afterwards. Okay, I'm not like that. but there are some people who are just welfare dependents already. So they're calling for it to continue too. And then there's the scared people who are calling for it to continue. So if you see like a Bill Gates type of person saying, you know, we need to be better safe than sorry. Let's do this for 3 months. It's very easy for him to say that. It's very easy for him to say. Personally, he'll be fine. Yeah. How about the real workers of America? If they just broke out of their panic prison, they would soon see, like, wait a second, half the people screaming for this are screaming for it because they want competition to be destroyed afterwards. And maybe that's not the reason, but it will be destroyed afterwards. They'll be wealthier afterwards. And the main and again, they're comfortable now. They can afford a 3-month vacation, et cetera, et cetera. Cernovich says, human nature tells us what? You overstate possible deaths because if there are fewer deaths, you look like you save lives. If you understate deaths and more occur, then you get blamed for the additional deaths. And that's a really good point. And this is where a lot of the fear is coming from, fear numbers. Some of government officials are overstating the possible future deaths because they don't want to understate it because, well, they want to get elected again. If it was truly as bad as everyone said, well, not everyone, the elected officials were saying, they wouldn't worry about re-election. This would be like a life or death type of thing. They wouldn't be worried about their words. They would tell the straight up facts, but they are overstating things so that they can't get blamed, okay, for understating things. How about create a real model and say, hey, this prediction might not exactly come true. And I don't care if you reelect me or not. That's the truth. Deal with it as a grown-up. I don't care about your emotions, about if you're angry that the number didn't come true that I predicted, that I overstated it, that I understated it, because you get apparently, I mean, the logic of the politicians is if it's worse than they predicted, they're going to lose their job. Oh, all right. So yeah, again, if you ever get scared about these predictions, they're overstating it to protect themselves. And a number is just a number. You take care of yourself. You're a healthy individual. You chart your own path. You can work. All right. Baltimore Sun. This just shows the victim mentality that is out there. On the Baltimore Sun website, it says, share your coronavirus story. How to add your voice to our coverage. I mean, they're begging. Like, everyone wants to be part of this thing. Not everyone. The victim mentality people all want to be a part of this. So they have to come up with their own story that somehow intertwines them into this virus. It is such a loser mentality. It's such a victim mentality. How can I make myself part of this sickness? And how can I virtue signal with the Baltimore Sun? And the Baltimore Sun is encouraging people to do this because they know it sells. It's a vicious cycle. It's so sickening. Okay, one day closer to an all-time high. I will read to you what I said on my little, we'll conclude with this. So pound that like button. You can maybe some of you have already heard this, but this was part of my 2-minute show beforehand. And it's a great, first of all, I just want to say one thing. It's a great honor that I was targeted. It is a great honor that my channel got taken down because I'm speaking, you got to be controversial. You should be. I mean, if you're not controversial, then you're not speaking the truth. So I'm controversial to someone out there. Why be boring? Why be boring? That trends toward compliance there. I'm a radical. I definitely proven my radical chops there, haven't I? All right, but so it's an honor. It's an honor to be considered a radical, and that I need to be silenced. And I have not been silenced. It says, last night, my Bitcoin Meister YouTube channel, which had no strikes, was removed without warning because a bootlicking informant complained to YouTube about my April Fool's Day video, which talked a lot about the media-driven coronavirus panic and hysteria. The video can be watched on my BitChute channel. Link to below. I am proud of it, and I am proud of every video that I've ever made. I stand by everything that I said in that video. I will not be silenced. I will not be compliant and participate in this media manufactured doom panic. Defiance is easy in the Bitcoin overlay. I can't be canceled. Sportsmeister.com has all my audio podcasts. Disruptmeister.com sends you to my BitChute channel, and hungrymeister.com sends you to my backup YouTube channel. You will still get a new show every day. This Week in Bitcoin will be live on Friday at 6 p.m. Baltimore time as scheduled. My TechBalt Twitter account is the best way to stay up to date in the Bitcoin Meister ecosystem. The channel shutdown was not directly because of Bitcoin. It was because of the new normal amongst the 80%ers is to obey the narrative and to try and silence dissenting voices. Personal responsibility is the new counterculture, and the virus panic mass movement members can't stand that some people are not scared and that some people want to be free and productive. This incident shows that those of us who have disconnected ourselves from the mainstream panic prison can't be stopped. Join me in the Bitcoin overlay. The golden age will not be stopped by the fearful. Compete, don't complain. Strong hand, conviction. Fitting in is overrated. So guys, pound that retweet button, pound that like button. Hopefully this part 2 got recorded there. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, Disrupt Meister. See you tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern time. That's 6 p.m. Baltimore time for This Week in Bitcoin. See ya.